ensuring that his legacy, however controversial, endures. Welcome to Icons of History, where we dive deep into the past to uncover the stories of the individuals who shaped our world. From great leaders to visionaries who changed the course of humanity, here we bring you the tales of the icons who left an indelible mark on the pages of history. In the annals of history, few figures have left as profound and controversial a mark as Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov, better known to the world as Lenin. His legacy echoes through time, shaping not only the 20th century, but continuing to influence global politics and revolutionary movements today. On an autumn evening in 1917, as the winds of change howled through Petrograd's streets, Lenin led a revolution that would fundamentally transform the world's largest country and spark a global ideological battle that would persist for decades. But the legacy of this lawyer-turned-revolutionary extends far beyond that pivotal moment. Born into a middle-class family in Simbirsk, Lenin's path to revolution began after the execution of his older brother, Alexander, for plotting to assassinate Tsar Alexander. Born into a middle-class family in Simbirsk, Lenin's path to revolution began after the execution of his older brother Alexander for plotting to assassinate Tsar Alexander III. This personal tragedy catalyzed his revolutionary fervor, pushing him deeper into radical politics and Marxist theory. What Lenin created was unprecedented, the world's first socialist state, spanning 1/6 of the Earth's landmass. The Union of Soviet Socialist Republics rose from the ashes of the Russian Empire, fundamentally altering the global balance of power. But the cost of this transformation was enormous. Lenin's implementation of war communism during the Civil War period brought both rapid industrialization and unprecedented suffering. His new economic policy later demonstrated a pragmatic willingness to incorporate limited capitalist elements to prevent economic collapse, a decision that would influence future communist nations' approaches to economic reform. Perhaps Lenin's most enduring legacy lies in how he adapted Marxist theory to real-world application. His concept of a vanguard party, a disciplined organization of professional revolutionaries, became the template for communist movements worldwide. From China to Cuba, Vietnam to Angola, revolutionary leaders would study and adapt Lenin's organizational methods. Under Lenin's leadership, the Soviet state launched ambitious campaigns to modernize Russia. Literacy rates soared as education became universal and free. Women gained legal equality, at least on paper, decades before many Western nations. These social reforms, despite their limitations, demonstrated the revolutionary state's commitment to transforming society. But Lenin's legacy is deeply paradoxical. While he championed the liberation of the masses, his methods established a one-party state that would eventually evolve into Stalin's totalitarian regime. The suppression of democratic institutions and political opposition under Lenin laid the groundwork for decades of authoritarian rule. Today, Lenin's theoretical works continue to influence revolutionary movements and left-wing political parties globally. His analyses of imperialism, state power, and revolutionary strategy remain required reading for political activists and scholars alike. Even those who reject his conclusions must grapple with his ideas. In modern Russia, Lenin's legacy remains contentious. While his body still lies in state in Moscow's Red Square, his statues have been toppled across the former Soviet Union. Yet in times of social upheaval, new generations continue to turn to his writings, seeking answers to questions about power, justice, and social transformation. The methods Lenin developed of organizing, propagandizing, and mobilizing masses have influenced movements far beyond the communist left. From civil rights struggles to anti-colonial movements, his tactical innovations in political organization have been adopted and adapted by causes he could never have imagined. Perhaps most significantly, Lenin demonstrated that ideas could reshape reality. He showed that a relatively small group of dedicated revolutionaries, armed with a compelling vision and organizational discipline, could fundamentally transform a society. This lesson, for better or worse, continues to inspire those seeking radical social change. The questions Lenin grappled with remain remarkably relevant. How can society be organized more justly? What is the relationship between economic and political power? How can ordinary people gain control over their own destinies? While his answers may be debated, the questions themselves persist. Vladimir Lenin died in 1924, leaving behind a complex and contested legacy. He was at once a brilliant theoretical innovator and a ruthless pragmatist, a champion of the oppressed and an architect of authoritarian power, a figure of hope and of terror. His revolution changed the course of history, and its aftershocks continue to reverberate. As we move further into the 21st century, Lenin's legacy reminds us that ideas have consequences, that individuals can change history, and that the struggle to create a more just world remains as challenging and as urgent as ever. Whether celebrated or reviled, his impact on human history cannot be ignored, serving as both inspiration and warning to future generations. The questions Lenin raised about power, justice, and social transformation continue to haunt our modern world. And while the Soviet Union he helped create has long since collapsed, the fundamental issues he addressed, of inequality, exploitation, and the possibility of radical change, remain at the center of global political discourse, ensuring that his legacy, however controversial, endures. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time with icons of history. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. See you next time as we explore more icons who made history.